Now, even though I personally think The Flash is one of the best superhero shows on TV right now, blending high-stakes superhero action, situational comedy, and the usual CW drama.
Sometimes me and Iris have these moments, and when I'm looking into her eyes, it's hard not to think that she's feeling the same way I do.
Even I can admit that there's been a ton of problems with this thing over all 4 seasons. Like, why did Caitlin struggle with her Killer Frost persona at the start of season 4, despite apparently getting the whole thing resolved at the end of season 3? How was Barry doing stuff like outrunning lightning early in the first season if he didn't even clear Mach 2 until the season finale? And probably most importantly, why was Iris in charge of everything Team Flash was doing after Barry disappeared? What qualifications does she have to run a team of scientists and super friends, am I right? Now, that's not to say that I hate the character or anything like that, but Iris is a reporter. It's what she's good at, and there's still a ton of storytelling potential for Iris in that field. Like, she could be covering everything the Flash is doing like she was back in season 1, or she could help cover things up so something like what happened to Oliver doesn't happen to Barry. Actually, wait a minute, is Iris even a reporter anymore? I mean, we never see her at a desk in that office anymore, and nobody's mentioned her having to get a story or quotes or anything like that in a while. Seriously, she's been taking a longer leave period than Barry got when he disappeared in the Speed Force.
6 months and 5 minutes late.
Then again, maybe nobody at that office really cares because they just don't exist anymore. As sad as it is to say, it technically doesn't look like Iris is a reporter in the Arrowverse anymore. Now, Candace Patton did do an interview last November where she mentioned that she believed that Iris was still a reporter, stating,
"In my mind, I will always say yes. I love Iris as a reporter. I will always hold out hope that we'll see a future version of that on the show because that's innately, I think, who that character is. So I just like to think that right now she's helping out Team Flash in a way that needs to be helped, and eventually she'll get back to reporting about all the stuff going on in Central City."
And on top of that, we know that she has to be a reporter since, as shown numerous times in Eobard Thawne's Time Vault, Iris writes an article about how the Flash disappears during a fight against the Reverse Flash. There was even an entire season dedicated to making sure that her name still showed up on that article. Seems pretty rushed and pointless now that I think about it. Now, that having been said, there's a lot of stuff that makes it look like the higher-ups on the show are trying to move Iris away from that part of the character's history and instead turn her into a more active member of Team Flash. Like, if you'll remember, Iris used to show up a lot in the Central City Picture News offices during seasons 1 and 2. I mean, it was her job, so it kind of makes sense for her to be there a lot. But when season 3 started, Iris was never really shown doing any actual reporting, except for like once. And during last year's Comic-Con back in July, Candace Patton mentioned that as of right now with this season, it's not a priority for anybody involved with the show to put her in that position. Instead, the idea is that Iris is going to stick to her leadership role at Star Labs, and the way Candace was talking, she made it sound like we could be seeing Iris working the monitors there for a while.
I don't think they have any plans to develop that, unfortunately. I would love to see that. It doesn't mean that we'll never get there, but I don't know that is a priority for them right now with Iris. I think the role they want to see her in is the team leader at Star Labs. So I don't know what that means for her as a reporter at Picture News. I don't know.
Yeah, great job, guys. Can't wait to see what all you come up with there.
Just tell me what to do and I'll do it.
You need to throw a lightning bolt. It might short the suit out, give him back control.
Or it might set off the self-destruct early.
Or it might stop his heart. Barry, you need to listen to me, okay?
What makes this whole thing even worse is that apparently the CC Picture News set isn't even there anymore. Like, it's been torn down.
Is the Central City Picture News set still here?
It is not. Yeah, I mean, we tore that down a long while ago.
That could always be rebuilt.
Yeah.
They don't throw those pieces
We don't throw them away, but it has been a while since I've been on it, I'll just say that much.
Now, I'll admit, maybe I'm overreacting here. I mean, as pointed out in the interview, the set can be rebuilt, and after all, it does cost money to keep a set fixed up and ready to go for filming. Plus, depending on the set, these things take up a good bit of space. Space a TV show might need to put together a new set for a shot they're trying to get. But here's the thing though, if they were ever planning on using the CC Picture News set again, why tear it down in the first place? And on top of that, the CW has a history of reusing sets for different shots, like how the house Amanda Westfield lived in was the same one Barry and his family lived in when he was younger, or how this apartment from season 4 of The Flash is the same one Thea, Oliver, and Felicity used in Arrow. The networks used the same locations and sets across multiple shows over the years, so why couldn't they just redress the office as something else and keep it ready for whenever Iris goes back to work? Now, as much as it sounds like I'm spreading doom and gloom here for fans of Iris being a reporter, as of right now, it's not impossible to imagine that she'll go back to being a reporter at some point.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
As I mentioned earlier, the byline of the future newspaper in Eobard's time vault still reads Iris West Allen, and there was an entire season dedicated to keeping her alive so she could keep reporting on stuff. So maybe something happens during an especially rough Team Flash mission that affects Iris pretty badly, and she just decides to go f it and go back to being a reporter by the time season 5 rolls around. Personally, I think it'd be best for her character, but I guess that's just me. But anyways guys, that's my take on whether or not we'll ever see Iris go back to being a reporter on The Flash. If you guys agreed with anything I said in this video, or if you have your own theories you want to throw out there, then go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I will see you all next time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, then go ahead and click that like button, and if you're new, maybe consider clicking that subscribe button too. I've also got links to my Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Patreon in the description. You should probably check those out too. And if you want to see more of my content, then you can click the link to my last video. It's right there in the middle of your screen. Alright, and I will see you all next time.